And coming to the stage next, please welcome Mr. Jerry Andersson.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I talk funny. That's it, I'm finished. I'm kind of relatively new to comedy, but I kind of think I'm getting the hang of it, because actually on the way to here today I made a woman laugh, and I wasn't even naked. That's the first. So, let me think. I've just forgotten everything I was going to say. I'm having a strange day. I'm having one of those days where I want to feed rabbits laxatives by the pound, just so I can see them keep going and going and going. It's like corporate brainwashing dudes. So what is this? And I had this joke as well about these, don't call them beatniks, what do they call them? There's lots of beards and they wear...
hipsters?
Hipsters, there you go. I got a hipster joke in my head. Right. I don't think it's funny, but refrigeration. I was into that before. It's cool, man. Thanks.
Because of the free.
So I'm recently single.
No.
Yeah. No, it's actually a sad thing. It's like, but the thing is, something you got to learn about relationships. It's a learning experience. So it's things you got to learn. And something I've learned is that the next time I have a relationship, I've got to be bigger, I've got to be better, and I've got to get a stronger lock for my basement. That's true. And it reminds me of something my grandfather told me. He said to me, Laurel, he said, he could never remember my name, my name's Jerry, by the way. He said, Yanni. Thanks so much, popcorn too. He said, Yanni, James, John, drugs are kicking in, Grandad. No, he said, I've lived a long and happy life, and I've learned something about relationships. So you've got to learn this thing, right? When you're in a relationship, remember two things. Silence is golden, but duct tape is silver. And it's like, we live in a life of danger. Everything's all dangerous nowadays, and you've got to really look after people, even if they're a stranger, right? And, I just remembered the first bit. So, give yourself a big round of applause for coming out tonight.
Yeah!
Because we live in, again, a world of danger, and it takes so much courage nowadays to admit to your family and friends that you're gay, so thanks again for coming out. Yeah, there you go. So anyway, so I was in a parking structure, and I heard this scream. There was a woman screaming, and usually people ignore them, but I was there. I was like, I've got to help this woman. The girl was terrified as I was pushing in the back of my windowless van. Now that was a joke. What do you think I am? Just because I'm foreign, I've got a windowless van? Now I've got a station wagon. It's a kind of, I see it more like the deluxe station. Deluxe. I've been up since 4 o'clock. And I mean AM. So I see it more as the deluxe windowless van. For the voyeur. I've ruined that one. Nice weather. Okay, so. How's about this one? I was listening to a friend of mine told me this joke, and it was it's one of those jokes that kind of grows on you, very much like a yeast infection. There's a sadist and a masochist were talking to each other, and the sadist said to the masochist, "I'm not going to hurt you." It doesn't. Okay. Look it up and you'll find out it's actually funny, because you got the sadist enjoys inflicting pain, saying to the masochist who enjoys pain being inflicted on them, the sadist saying, "I'm not going to hurt you, I'm enjoying this," because the masochist is going, "Please hurt me." So it's, you had to watch the video to actually understand that one.
My favorite jokes have footnotes. It's okay.
Thanks so much. Footnotes smell like cheese. So, where are we at with that one? So I got kicked out the mall the other day. And I don't know why. I saw a sign that said wet floors, so I did. I call that my public urination joke. No, I actually went to the mall. I don't really go to the mall that often, but I went to this because I heard this thing about Victoria's Secret. Anyone heard of Victoria's Secret? Yeah. I was trying to find out what it was, and I found out she can't afford clothes. Now at this point, some people will think, the norms anyway, will think like, what is a strange foreign guy that wears his hair in pigtails? Why is he in a women's clothing store? And so I really want to put across that I am not a cross-dresser, okay? The mere idea of even thinking about putting on women's clothing doesn't make me cross at all. Actually makes me quite happy. No, okay, ladies. Gents, the thing is, don't disintellectually try it. There's a rhyming way of doing that. But women's clothing is comfortable. It's soft, and it's amazing. The men aren't allowed to wear it. Admittedly, there are stringy garments that do chafe. You know what I mean? Bras, ladies. You know what I'm saying? Because is anyone that wears a bra like the bra? Because it was invented by a man that hates women. But the thing is, really, to tell the truth, seriously, clothes are clothes. It's a human-made thing. It's somebody putting two pieces of material together and then you wear it. Boom. And it's like, you know, women wear clothes, men wear clothes. People who are cruel put dogs in clothes, but beside the point. And it's like, it's weird. If you look in history, right? Victorians, do you know anything about Victorian history? Because they're the most prudest modal focus in the entire history of the world. Mm-hmm. If you had a table, you had to put tablecloth on it right down to the floor, because if you showed the leg of a table, it was porn, basically. Okay, but I'll fast forward a bit. I was going to talk about a bunch of stuff about, for instance, like kilts. Scottish guys wear kilts, they're like skirts, but if you talk to them and say, hey, you're wearing a skirt, they'll beat 10 back the shit out of you. Which means that cross-dressers aren't weak, but I'll end you with this one. There was this friend of mine, she's reading this book about toddlers, and she's reading this chapter about a tantrum. So if your kid is having a tantrum, according to this book, you don't pamper to it, because what happens is the kid will get used to that, so every time it has a tantrum, it wants to get pampered. And so it says in the book, it doesn't matter what they're doing, if they're kicking, the screaming, the yelling, the flailing, just ignore them. And that is exactly how my first child drowned.
All right. Keep it going for Ricky I'm sorry, Jerry Anderson, everybody. Let him hear it. Jerry Anderson.